from 147 to 168 and the win, become undisputed. Wow.
I want to go up to 68. So who would you fight at 60?
The most recent argument between Crawford and Canelo shows that he is still insulting him verbally. Crawford yelled at the Mexican star and told him that he would knock him out. It looks like Crawford is doing everything he can to get inside Canelo's head.
We can do something out of catchweight.
What weight do you think?
Probably like 160 or something.
But you said you said 154 the highest you want to go.
Yeah, 158.
Since Crawford's convincing win over Errol Spence Jr. and the subsequent talk of a super fight between the two, tensions have been rising between the two for months.
No real guys at 47.
Everyone's talking about Errol fighting the winner of Canelo and Jamel. Could you ever do that? Is that too much weight? Or?
What, 168?
Yeah.
I ain't going up there.
Right.
So you got Canelo winning then, right? Then if he fighting at 160.
I will still beat you even if we change the weight. Crawford proudly said this right after their heated argument, during which tempers flared and a fight almost broke out. Crawford was very sure of himself, and he made it clear that he thinks his skills and determination will win no matter what weight class he fights in.
$9.4, 168.
Canelo and Crawford have been getting more angry since July 2023, when Crawford stunned Spence with a performance that united the welterweight division. As rumors of a possible fight with Canelo grew, fans and experts in the sport guessed what would happen in a match between the undefeated welterweight champion and the experienced middleweight king Canelo. For Crawford, who is known for his speed, agility, and strategic mastery, this seemed like a rude challenge.
He has a good skills, but most of people think about him like he's untouchable, or he's unstoppable, or he has enough power to beat super heavyweights. Sometimes it's funny to...
Crawford never wanted to avoid a fight, so he was the first one to speak out. "You're afraid to face real competition," he said, referencing Canelo's past of carefully selected opponents. "You pick fights where you know you have the upper hand, but with me, you won't have that option." The verbal sparring escalated quickly with both fighters moving closer. Their entourage is on high alert to prevent any physical confrontation.
For one right now in boxing, Inoue or Crawford?
Me.
I should have prefaced that with besides you.
Pay attention. Besides me, I think it's hard to say because both fighters are good.
Crawford didn't give up and kept attacking. "You think you're invincible because of your power, but skills pay the bills. I'll outbox you, outthink you, and beat you just like I did with Spence." The tension is still growing with fans and reporters holding their breaths, expecting a physical clash at any moment.
You're playing football, bro. I know you can run and pass like that. I'm an all-around athlete. There ain't nothing I can't do. So what you doing there? Enjoy yourself.
Crawford's boldness and undying confidence have only fueled a fire in following word exchange. He has continued to push the narrative that Canelo is avoiding a real test of his abilities. He's scared. Crawford stated that he knows that facing me is a risk he can't afford to take. He'd rather fight opponents who are past their prime or not in their peak form, but he can't dodge me forever. Crawford didn't hesitate on saying how he would win against Canelo. "It's all about planning and strategy. I've studied Canelo's fights. I know his flaws. He's powerful, no question, but he's not unbeatable. His energy fades in the later rounds. You saw that with Floyd, and he suffers with fighters who are fast and elusive. I'll exploit those flaws, catch weight or not.
Just don't do this. This is why Canelo's not fighting Benavidez. Why would Canelo fight Benavidez, who's relatively unknown? And Benavidez...
The prospect of a catch fight has been a contentious point in the talks. Canelo, who usually fights at super middleweight, has been hesitant to drop down significantly in weight, while Crawford, a natural welterweight, would need to bulk up despite these challenges. Both fighters seem eager to make the bout happen, knowing the historic significance and financial windfall such a matchup would bring as negotiations continue. The boxing world is filled with rumors. Promoters are working hard behind the scenes to iron out the details, while fans flood social media with their predictions and opinions about the potential showdown. Has all the makings of a classic reminiscent of the great rivalries of the past. Like Ali Frazier and Leonard Hearns adding to the drama, boxing legends have weighed in on the potential fight. Hall of Famer Sugar Ray Leonard recently commented that this could be one of the greatest fights of this age. Crawford's tactical brilliance against Canelo's raw strength. It's the perfect clash of styles. I can't wait to see how it plays. Crawford can do it. I did it in my earlier days, and I believe Crawford can move up weight class and still take Canelo down.
I think that Canelo might not choose Benavidez as one of his fights and just kind of skip over that.
Who knows? Yeah, who knows? I mean, one thing about Canelo is that the history shows that, yeah, he's fighting the top guys. He's taking all the...
Teddy Atlas, known for his candid assessments, offered his take on his podcast on the fight with Teddy Atlas. Crawford's right about one thing. Skills do pay the bills, but let's not discount Canelo. He's been in some terrible wars and comes out on top. This fight will test both men in ways they've never been tried before.
Israel, the best 154-pounder in the division right now. So why not go for the top guy in the division right off the bat? I want to leave a legacy that's never been left before, you know, inside and outside the ring. Business.
Fighters themselves have continued to stoke the fires of anticipation on social media. They've swapped barbs, each trying to get under the other's skin. Now, as you all know, David Benavidez has also been calling out Canelo, and Crawford also just recently responded on this. What's even more interesting here is that Crawford suggested that Canelo could outskill Benavidez. The two-time 168-pound champion is still undefeated but currently without any titles, given that Canelo has been hanging on to all for in the division since late 2021.
$50 million, it could happen in November. If he won is 60 to 100, it can happen in September, because you don't need to go to city to make that money.
Despite being the WBC #1 contender and interim champ, Benavidez has had no luck securing Canelo's interest, with the elite Mexican asking a $200 million payday for the defense. This situation has created a complex landscape in the super middleweight class, where top fighters are jostling for their chance at the throne. Benavidez, known for his relentless fighting style and powerful punches, has been vocal about his desire to face Canelo, believing that his performances deserve a shot at the undisputed champion. His recent win over the previously undefeated Demetrius Andrade only added to his credibility, showcasing his skills and further fueling his campaign for a fight against Canelo.
Watching the Jaime Munguia and Canelo fight was a good fight. It didn't win exactly how I expected, but hats off to both fighters.
Interestingly, Terence Crawford has also joined in on Benavidez's pursuit, speaking to Fight Hype. Following Benavidez's last performance, Crawford expressed his opinion that El Monturo was ready to face Canelo despite his own desires to fight Canelo. Crawford branded the possible bout between Benavidez and Canelo and picked him, acknowledging the strengths of both fighters. He's coming behind his jab, he's hitting straight punches going to the body, and then up and down. He's just got to tighten up a little bit on his defense, but other than that, he's good. He's ready for Canelo. Crawford commented,
"But if you want 150, you need to work for that. And the TV will not agree on 3 months' notice. There's no way the TV and whoever put the money, because we are promoter, but really the money's coming."
His assessment shows the respect he has for Benavidez's abilities, while still recognizing Canelo's greatness. Crawford continued, "And I still got it a 50-50ths. Benavidez is good, but Canelo is great. We've just got to see the fight, man. We all want to see the fight. You've got two strong fighters going head-to-head." This statement from Crawford is significant as it underscores a high regard he holds for both fighters despite his own ambitions to climb up to super middleweight, and challenged Canelo himself when asked if his super middleweight dreams were restricted only to Canelo or if he would consider facing Benavidez. Crawford was unequivocal in his answer. Yeah, Canelo was the only one, he stated. This clear focus on Canelo shows Crawford's strategic approach to his career, aiming for the most prestigious and high-profile fights that would cement his reputation in boxing history. Crawford's move to super welterweight is already in motion, with a planned fight against champion Israel Madrimov on August 3rd. This bout will serve as a stepping stone for Crawford as he adjusts to the higher weight class and prepares for the ultimate leap to super middleweight. His ambition and determination to face Canelo showcase his unwavering drive to prove himself against the best in the sport, while Benavidez, after unsuccessfully chasing the Canelo fight, is making his light heavyweight debut on June 15th. This shifting weight class shows Benavidez's versatility and willingness to explore new challenges even as he continues to seek the elusive about with Canelo. His journey through the ranks has been marked by impressive wins and an unyielding pursuit of greatness, qualities that connect with fans and critics alike.
Realistically left your mind once he said he's not interested, or you still pursuing it?
Not at all. I think business talk. With the right business come across the table, it happened.
All this comes after Canelo set his price for him to take fights, and it is only after several outs that Canelo Alvarez has finally agreed to a potential legacy fight against the undefeated Terence Crawford. In the months following this all-timer victory with Spence, the 36-year-old Crawford has been targeting a fight with the Mexican icon Canelo Alvarez. It now seems that the interest is mutual, setting the stage for a showdown that could shape both fighters' legacies. Canelo Alvarez, initially hesitant about facing Crawford, has changed his attitude regarding a possible bout while attending a no-golf, no-life presentation. Canelo discussed the chance of the fight and expressed his newfound openness to the idea. Crawford is a great fighter clearly, but he's 3 divisions below Canelo. He noted that his acknowledgement of Crawford's prowess despite the difference in weight classes signals major shift in his attitude toward this matchup. Canelo further elaborated on his willingness to face Crawford, citing his extensive experience fighting opponents of different sizes and ages. As I've said before, I fought bigger guys in my category and smaller people, older guys and younger guys. He stated this confidence comes from his illustrious career, where he has faced and defeated a wide range of opponents, proving his adaptability and skill in the ring. However, Canelo emphasized that any possible fight must be on terms that suit him best. At the end of the day, I was born to fight, and I'll fight anyone clearly on terms that suit me best. He asserted this pragmatic method highlights Canelo's awareness of the import of negotiating favorable conditions, especially in terms of weight and financial compensation. At this point in my career, I'll always make the best fights, but they have to help me. It depends on the money. But why not? Canelo's pragmatic approach reflects his seasoned understanding of the sport's business side, ensuring that any fight he takes on fits with his career goals and financial interests. Canelo Alvarez showed his class in his most recent fight just a few weeks ago, winning a dominant decision victory over his fellow countryman, Ch. Manga. This victory reinforced his status as a dominant force in boxing and showed his ability to stay at the top of his game despite facing relentless competition. His willingness to entertain a fight with Crawford underscores his desire to continue taking on the best challengers, solidifying his legacy as one of the greatest fighters of his age to add to all the build-up. Promoter Eddie Hearn, who has worked extensively with Canelo Alvarez over the past few years but is not currently involved with him due to a deal with PBC, recently spoke to Fight Hub TV about the possible Canelo vs. Terence Crawford fight. Hearn made it clear that the only way this fight could come to fruition is with the presence of Turki Alalshik. That's down to His Excellency. The only person who can make that fight is His Excellency. Because of what Canelo wants for it, you're going to have to pay up for it, and that's the only way to get the money that Saul wants. Hearn stated,
Right, because you never know. Someone might pay it. But what's the point in coming out and saying, give me 75 million and I'll fight Benavidez, because someone will just go, done.
Yeah.
Give me 200. As I say, shoot for the stars, and if you miss, you land on the clouds. Shoot for the clouds, you miss, you land on your ass.
This insight from Hearn sheds light on the significant financial factors at play. Canelo, a boxing superstar with immense market value, has set high monetary expectations for his fights. His latest demand of $150,200 million for a fight with his WBC mandatory or David Benavidez underscores a kind of financial expectations he has. Translating this into a potential bout with Crawford suggests that securing the necessary funds will be a monumental task, one that only someone with the financial clout and interest like His Excellency Turki Alalshik can achieve. Luckily for boxing fans eager to see this showdown, Saudi Arabia's Turki Alalshik has stated his interest in making the fight happen. Alalshik, known for his influential role in sports promotions in Saudi Arabia, has the financial resources and motivation to bring such high-profile bouts to the kingdom. His involvement could be the key to overcoming the financial hurdles and setting the stage for a historic fight between Canelo and Crawford. Adding another layer of mystery to the situation is Crawford's recent announcement as one of 3 ambassadors for the Riyadh season promotion. This link to Saudi Arabia further aligns Crawford's interests with those of Alalshik, creating a synergy that could ease the negotiations and planning required to bring the fight to fruition. Canelo's high valuation of his bouts shows his status as one of the biggest names in boxing. His career, marked by victories over numerous top-tier opponents and multiple championships across different weight classes, justifies his financial demands. However, these demands also create significant barriers to organizing fights, especially against opponents who might not bring an equivalent market value. In Crawford's case, despite his undisputed talent and undefeated record, the financial draw might not easily align with Canelo's asking price without the backing of a heavyweight promoter like Ulalshik. Now, after this fight with these huge returns, if you were Crawford, you only consider retirement, and that's also something Crawford has hinted at now. Canelo Alvarez finds himself in a no-win position where he likely won't receive any credit even if he obliterates Terence Crawford. This predicament isn't new territory for Canelo, who faced similar criticism when he defended his 168-pound titles against Jermall Charlo, who had moved up to divisions from 154 to challenge him in 2023. Critics were quick to point out that Canelo was facing a smaller opponent, which in their view diminished the significance of his victory. The idea of a fight against Crawford, while intriguing, carries the same potential for criticism. Despite Crawford's amazing skills and undefeated record, he would be coming up 3 weight classes to face Canelo should Canelo win. Detractors would likely dismiss the victory, saying that he was merely overpowering a smaller fighter. Once again, this narrative poses a significant challenge for Canelo, who is continually seeking to solidify his legacy and earn respect as one of the greatest fighters of his generation. Before Crawford and his trainer Brian "BAC" McIntyre can seriously discuss a possible fight against Canelo, they must first defeat WBA junior middleweight champion Israel Madrimov on August 3rd in Los Angeles. This is no guaranteed win for Crawford, who will be nearly 37 and coming off a year-long layoff when he moves up a division to fight the unbeaten Israel Madrimov at the stadium in Los Angeles. The fight against Madrimov marks a significant challenge and a crucial stepping stone on Crawford's path to a potential showdown with Canelo. Madrimov presents a difficult roadblock for Crawford. One edge Crawford has in this fight is his hand speed. He's faster than Madrimov, and he will look to exploit that speed. However, if Crawford fails to keep Madrimov off or tires out during the fight, it will become a tough battle. The younger, more powerful Madrimov could possibly knock out Crawford, derailing his plans for a lucrative fight with Canelo and taking the golden parachute retirement payday off the table. Crawford is a 37-year-old fighter moving up a class after a long break, and it might be asking too much of his aging body. While he did well moving up to 147, his opponents were thought less challenging than what he will face at 154. His past wins include fights against Jeffrey Horn, Jose Benavidez, Jr. David Benavidez, his prime Sean Porter. None of these opponents compare to the challenge posed by Madrimov, making the August fight a real test of Crawford's skills at a higher weight class, but has got it in him to beat Canelo. I can see him doing it. Is it a test for him? Of course. Is it a challenge for the whole team? Of course. But that's what we're in the game for. Being great, said back to Fight Hub TV, expressing his belief that Crawford has the tools to beat Canelo Alvarez if or when they fight back's confidence in Crawford is unwavering. But fans would likely find his statements more believable if Crawford first demonstrated his ability to compete with the top fighters at 168, such as David Morella and David Benavidez, before jumping into a retirement payday against Canelo. The direct leap from facing Madrimov at 154 to challenging Canelo 168 appears ambitious and possibly unrealistic. It suggests a potential cash grab move reminiscent of what fans witnessed last year when Jermall Charlo moved up from 54 to fight Canelo, lost decisively, and has been largely absent from the scene since. For many, this approach undermines the credibility of Crawford's dare, raises questions about his readiness to face a fighter of Canelo's at a significantly higher weight class.
Canelo, like, he can be beat. He's been beat before, so he can definitely, Bud got the tools to beat him. I mean, Bud got it in him. He has it in him.
This focus is important as Madrimov is not an opponent to be underestimated. A loss to Madrimov would not only derail Crawford's plans for a fight with Canelo, but could also greatly impact his career trajectory and legacy. In this situation, both Canelo and Crawford face unique challenges. Canelo must navigate the criticism that comes with fighting a smaller opponent, while Crawford must show his ability to battle in a higher weight class against a formidable champion like Madrimov. Their potential clash, while highly anticipated, is fraught with hurdles that must be passed before it can become a reality for Canelo. The no-win situation means that even a victory over Crawford might not bring the validation he wants for Crawford. The trip to Canelo involves navigating a dangerous path through Madrimov, a fight that will test his limits and readiness for the ultimate task against the Mexican superstar. What do you think about this? Share your thoughts below and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more information. See you in the next